All right. What are we doing anyways?
Are we
Is this
starting?
your thing?
Yeah, this is my
Oh,
thing. So you gotta get ready
this is
for
gonna blow up.
Thank you for the freaking confidence here. Jesus.
Okay, that'll get like 20,000 views right there. The rest of this stuff will be like 5.
All right, so what are we doing?
No, we're gonna be, I'm asking them questions, and Tiffany didn't wanna know the questions ahead of time, because I want this to be off the cuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I'll just say, ask Tom.
No, because you guys are involved with puppies, you raise
yeah.
puppies, so that's what it's gonna be all about. All right, are you hitting, did you?
I'm
It's
sure he's
recording
gonna
the whole
be-
time.
I've been recording for a while.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
This is the best part. People get the reality of it, right?
Yep.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom Dokken. These are my friends Lee and Tiffany Lakosky, and of course my husband Tom Dokken. And because he didn't want to do a lot of recording and videos and DVDs, I decided I'm going to take on this project myself. And I was
Good
getting
man. Good man, Tom.
No, I wanted him, but I kept telling him, come on. He's like, no. So I decided when I got my puppy, Gabby, Chocolate Labrador Retriever, in September, I was gonna document her life and all the things that went along with it. And of course, you were gonna guide me. Well, I was gonna follow your book and everything, but I follow like 95% of it. I follow 99% of it, but 1%.
Tom, is she feeling on that?
It's kind of one of those things where you go like, there's the book. What do I do? I go, well, we have a book. Look at the book. Sometimes it doesn't just follow.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
We talked about it in the videos.
Oh, we'll get there.
Yes, we will, for sure. So Lee and Tiffany, well, you owned dogs before meeting Tiffany.
Yep.
And you had one of your dogs trained by Tom.
A lot of dogs trained. Every dog trained by Tom.
Good, that's good.
Since I was in high school, I met Tom. Well, I didn't meet him, I should say. I saw a seminar like back when I was probably 14 or 15 at the Minneapolis Sports Show, and I saw him do a thing. When you had Otter was your dog.
Oh,
So that's
very
what it was.
good. Very
And
good.
so then I got one of the puppies. I called you and got one of my first puppies was in the same bloodline as Otter. But that was like full choke days
That was a great book.
and stuff. Yeah. So that was the first one, and then I had Tom train him, and I was like trying to mow enough lawns and stuff to get enough money to do it when you're a kid. But
Now I'm
so here we
mowing this
are.
lawn.
So here we are. So here we are, 7 years later, still doing it.
Right.
no, and then, well, we met you because you got a puppy. Tank was your first
Mhm.
baby. Before you
Yeah.
had human babies, that was your first
Yeah. First baby.
and that's how we got to know you.
Millstone
Tank.
Farm, I still remember it.
Yeah.
My mom
Linda,
came and talked to you.
Linda. Yeah, Linda
Yeah,
came.
start with
Linda
Shed
was
Dog.
watching one of my seminars, and you guys, they always have a million people, at their booth. So we were talking to Linda, and that's kind of how the reconnection.
Right,
And I
for
sent
sure.
you an email going, somebody's gonna have a lab on their show, a shed dog.
Right.
You guys would be
Right.
perfect.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Well, I always loved labs, and when deer took over, the pheasants and stuff kind of went by the wayside for some years. But then after, we got pretty established with the deer stuff, that we got to get back into the duck and goose and pheasants again. So that was 10 years ago, probably or more.
Yeah, probably more.
Yeah, so I don't think maybe a lot of people didn't know you were a bird hunter. Maybe even before.
Way bigger,
Deer
way more
Yeah.
duck and pheasant. I mean, we didn't have any deer where I grew up, so I shot on every trap league and every single day. When I turned 16, I'd borrow my sister's car, not because I didn't have a truck, and I'd borrow her little car, but she had gas in her car, and I didn't have any in mine. Hey, borrow my truck is down, can I borrow your car? I'd drive down to Vesely, and
Yeah.
we'd go there every day, every day that we could.
And that's close to where we are.
Yeah,
I mean, that's only
yeah.
15 minutes from
Yeah.
the county.
Right.
Which is a long drive back then.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Columbia Heights to there.
Yeah, it seemed long.
So was it Tank that got you into pheasant hunting then too?
Yep,
First
Tank
puppy.
that got me into pheasant hunting. He also got, as soon as because Tank just notoriously just would gravitate towards Lee, even though I'm like, I am your mom, why are you not doing it? But he didn't care, so I'm like, I need my own baby. And then,
Yeah,
so that's how we got Maddie. So we got Maddie, pretty much 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe even a year.
Probably a year later I started talking
Yeah,
about
and
it.
then Linda got Kaya,
And then Linda got
maybe that
Kaya.
same year, and
Yeah,
All
we
three
Sky.
world champion shed dog
Yeah.
Yep.
yep, all three of them.
winners.
It's
Yeah.
kind of one of those deals. I mean, if you're either pheasant hunting or shed hunting and you don't have a dog, you're just kind of walking around. As soon
Yeah.
as you have a
Sure.
dog, then it's like,
You're
okay,
in the game.
we're in the game
Yeah.
now.
That's the most enjoyable part about all of it, is watching your dog.
Yeah.
Everybody says that. Everybody that has a dog knows that. You know, try to pheasant hunt without a dog, you say, I'm just, like you said, I'm just walking around.
I mean, seriously, today I probably only shot at like 3 pheasants, mostly because my fingers were absolutely frozen. But it does.
14 below up.
I know. I'm like, seriously though, but it's like, it doesn't matter, because I mean, even Tom, you weren't shooting at all today.
No,
It's like,
I'm
you just like
watching the
enjoy
dogs.
watching the dogs. Like you
Yeah.
said, I could care less if I actually
Yeah.
shoot anything out there. I just want to watch the dogs.
That's a big.
Tina and I, on the other hand.
We're worse friends. I'm like, I'm probably a little ahead of Lee, but he won't mind. He hits it long anyway. I want the shorter shots. Yeah.
It is kind of true.
A little bit
Yeah.
maniacs to this.
Yeah.
I'm like, keep up, go, run.
We're ahead of them. Keep going. Keep
Oh
going.
my gosh.
Alright, so what's your puppy question?
Puppy questions. So
Should
what
we
do you
get-
guys think is the hardest part about raising a puppy?
Well, I can start on this. The hardest part for me is, even when I got one, like the very first ones, you think, oh, it's just a puppy. I can get that. But it's no really different than having a baby, a human baby. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna get a dog. But you have to be mentally and prepared for it, because I remember when I got that first puppy from Tom, I played softball, and I'm gonna go to softball. What? Wait, nobody's here to watch him. What do I do? I gotta take him with me? And it's a lot of responsibility. Was the first thing. So you have to realize that, and it's probably easy for people that have kids. You understand, hey, I can't just go on a whim and go anyplace. And you see that amongst like a lot of my friends that I want to get a dog, so they have one, and it's like Nate DeLong is a plug up for Nate DeLong, single, but he just has a dog. So I tell him, hey, let's go down to Illinois hunt. Well,
I got Cooper.
I got Cooper. I got my dog. So there's a lot to think about in that.
Not
So that
trained
was-
by Tom either.
Right.
And
Yeah.
a behaved dog.
So, I mean, first of all, getting a puppy is like number one for me. I thought of it's, if you don't have kids and if you're younger, you're just like, I hope you're prepared for it, because it's like having a baby. You can't just leave them whenever you want. Other than that, they're awesome. But as long as you're prepared for it, had them in the past, and you know. But
What's
I'm not
harder,
sure.
human kids or puppies, Tiffany?
I think they are different, because human kids, obviously you can't put in a kennel when you get tired of them.
Put 'em in a crate.
Yeah, I know. Can you believe that? You can't put collars on them.
You can?
It's not.
You should've told me that.
I know.
Why didn't you tell me
this?
You're not supposed to.
You know, actually, I would say they both have their challenges, in all honesty. I mean, straight up all honesty, obviously, like, your human kids aren't licking the floor and eating, well, they are. So, actually, they're kind of, in all reality, they're very similar. Straight up, very, very similar, except you can put diapers on human kids, and you can't
Right.
do it on dogs. Well, some people do dogs and stuff, but I think both of them are different challenges, but, I mean, both of them are,
Now, obviously, dogs are a little easier. You
Yeah.
can't put them in a kennel, but
yeah, you have a
you know,
little
the
bit-
thing is, you
little
don't want to leave
leeway
them
with
there too long. But the thing that a lot of people don't know before I met you was just all the socialization that you need to do when they're puppies. You know, take them with you everywhere, to the bank, to the store. Nobody minds if you're in a grocery store, even with having a little puppy on you. Everybody don't want to come over and see it, but that's what you want. You want so many people touching them and petting them until they get used to that, and not just left in a kennel at home. You know, so you want to have them with you all the time. So you got to be prepared for that. And it's just.
So it's kind of like our kids. We bring our dogs and our kids everywhere, and people go, "Oh boy."
When Hank was a puppy, I mean, he'd be in the tractor with you, he'd be
Yeah.
on the
Everywhere.
Ranger with you, he'd be like
Yeah, he put
everywhere.
as many hours in
With
that
you.
tractor as I did in
Yeah.
the early years.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, you guys point, who is the most responsible, who has the most responsibility for puppies or the dogs in general at your house? He got the right,
100%.
he got the right
Yeah,
answer.
100%.
What is the most difficult command that you think your dog is not good at, or that it's hard for you to teach?
Well, to me, I think one of the most important ones is the place. I mean, there's so many for hunting, but just in general obedience, like that cushion over there, you'll place. Because like I said, some people are dog people. They don't mind. They want your dog coming up and licking their face and hugging them and stuff. And some other people aren't. They're like, So it's nice when you have a dog say place. You know, sit on that place until you say, come on. So if you have guests over that aren't dog people, that it just sits there and it's well behaved. There's so many things for hunting, obviously, that, you know, the hand signals and all that stuff that are difficult to train. But to me, almost one of the most important ones that is simple is the place. And I'd never heard that
And
before.
here.
I never heard that before until I met Tom and like the place. You need to have a place in your house, whether it can be a piece of cardboard, anything that, or like I said, most time it's a cushion like that. You say place and they sit on there until you say come. But it's a simple one, seems simple, but it's hard, especially when you have a 5-month-old puppy that wants to, when people come in, they want to bounce off the walls and jump all over and get them to stay there. That's a difficult one, but you know, I think it's an important one, overlooked one anyway.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's harder to train like humans on that though? Because it's like people, you're like, you know, you'll have your dog under control sitting there, and then people come in, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, and you're like, no.
Well, then that's okay. You don't want to come off that, but then at least you know the dog people. And they
Yeah,
want it.
that is true.
But there's some people that just aren't dogs jumping on like, you don't want people to come over that aren't dog people have your dog knocking them over. So
All right,
that's an
Tiffany,
important
question
one.
for you. What is the thing that you wish your dogs would stop doing?
I don't know if I should even answer this.
I know which one for
Ooh.
sure.
Which one?
Well, you can say it. We all know what it is.
Counter surfing?
No.
Well, yeah, this guy's a counter surfer.
Yeah,
Let's
Sky's a
yeah.
counter surfer. What we wish our dogs would do, hug the best.
Stop doing, like,
No,
Stop
like
doing-
Maddie would stop whining.
Oh yeah, if we
No.
could make Maddie quiet down.
She's-
Maddie
That's a
is.
tough one.
Yeah, I don't think you can you?
I
She's
don't,
so excited that
barking, you can train.
Yeah.
Whining, it really is subconscious because no matter what discipline they would get, 2 seconds later they're whining. Now if they bark, they get disciplined, they go, quit barking.
Yeah.
I always say if I could come up with a de-whining
Oh
product,
my gosh.
you'd write your own ticket because,
Yeah.
it's annoying. Even for me, if my dogs even start to whine, like in the blind, it's like, I don't want this to go anywhere because I know where it leads to. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It's but they're excited about it.
I know, that's what
That's the
you
whole
hate.
thing. Like with
Yeah.
Maddie, she's just so excited. So I don't think she even knows that she's doing it.
It's subconscious. But it's
Yeah,
hard
that's a
once
good
it gets
one.
started.
Once it
It's
starts.
really-
And
Can you
she's
stop
been
it
like
early
that.
even?
If they start whining when they're little puppies, I'm kind of on it, like right away. Will it take care of it for a lifetime? No. Even Chase, he'll start, and he's the point, I look at him and he goes, okay.
You're
At
right.
least he recognizes that he shouldn't be doing it, but they're excited. I mean, and they're having to sit there and watch something happen.
Right.
And then if you have 2 dogs there,
Yeah, I was gonna
then
say,
the
I think we.
competition is there, and then they're like
competition.
driving
You
crazy.
we kind of
So it's hard.
created some of it on Maddie, in all honesty. But the thing is, it's like for like people like us, we want a dog that can shed hunt, pheasant hunt, upland hunt, or upland,
Yeah,
goose
you
hunt.
need to have a
Yeah.
dog.
So you have to have a
full
dog
of
with that
energy.
drive and energy. So then it's like to get that, that's really tough to
Yeah,
not
we saw
have.
her 10 years old, had ACL surgery last year, saw her go just as
She
it's
was
just
phenomenal.
hard
She
and
was
fast
better
as a
this
2
year
and
than
3-year-old
she
dogs.
had been for years.
All 3 days in a row, never stayed
Yeah.
there, so we're still
She's got
so
so much
excited to
drive.
go. Tom and I know in the back seat, it's like, man, we're on hour 6 of the 3rd day. You think most dogs would be, even Sky, had his head with her head down in between the cushions sleeping, and Maddie was still up, so excited to get out.
Yeah, just excited about life.
But you need that drive, like you said, to pick up a bird. Most dogs will do that, but to pick up a horn, an antler, it's like a rock. I'm like, this isn't moving. It's not fun. It's just like picking up a rock. So they have to have that drive. And Maddie has got the most drive out of any dog I've ever seen of having to have something in her mouth.
She does, yeah.
At a cabin, it doesn't matter if it's a stick,
Like a
anything.
twig.
It's
Let's
gotta
go
be
be honest.
something
A
in her
twig,
mouth
a
all the
leaf,
time.
anything.
Always something in her mouth.
I
You
know
talked about that with full
You
choke,
won
the
the
same
worlds
way.
with her. It was just kind of like, just get downwind, let her just go do
she's
her
gonna
thing.
get 'em, yeah.
And there's a lot of, like you talk shed dogs, that high drive, because it's no different picking up that amber or a tin can.
Right.
Because it doesn't run, it
Or a
doesn't
rock.
fly, it doesn't do anything. So if they don't have a high drive to retrieve, it's just not gonna happen.
Right.
And then from a trainer's standpoint, if you're trying to train a dog, even a bird dog, that doesn't even have any drive at all, it's too hard to give it to them.
Yeah, you can.
It's easier to take some down, but
Right.
it's hard to give it to them if they don't
Yeah.
have it. Like a
Yeah.
kid who doesn't wanna play basketball and you're forcing them, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you first got your puppies, because you've had, 3 pretty much, Kaya, Tank, Maddie,
Maddie,
did you
Sky.
ever have accidents in the house?
Oh yeah.
Me or the dog?
Yeah. Did you ever have accidents in the house? Absolutely. We
Yeah.
had accidents.
Everybody
Yeah.
does.
But
Yep.
but you know
Seems
what?
like
It's,
the males were better than the females. on at least on ours, I take was always, but it was only the one. Recently, he got it right away. It was like some of the females took a little longer. And I don't know if you guys see that or not, but at least for ours, tank was. I don't
Yeah,
take hardly
but
ever
none of them
did.
were really problematic.
No.
And we had more problems with puberty than we have with
Yeah.
puberty.
For
So
me,
that's
deer food.
one thing you
Yeah.
get them to stop doing.
Yeah.
Is eating stuff
Eating
that
stuff
they.
that they should not eat. It's like, really, there's some dead thing there that they just puked up. That's awesome.
And
Why
the
would
girls-
you eat that?
And the girls always rolling dead possums or possum poop,
Possum
right?
poop,
With
yeah,
the
the
males
girls
never
roll
did.
that.
I don't know if you
Boys
guys see
never
that.
did
We've only
that.
had one. Maybe it was just tank was. I don't want to roll and stand smelly. But the girls love to. I don't know if it was.
Well, Chase was a
If you guys
skunk
ever see
finder.
it.
You know, he found the
Oh,
skunks.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kept going. on
When
the
they throw up
skunks.
in a house, you can have hardwood floors, and they'll find
Oh yeah,
the
the one
smallest
piece
piece of carpet that you have
Just a
to
little-
throw up on.
yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
Always.
so,
I always tell this story because, like, when Lee just did not react fast, like in the middle of the night. He seriously did not. And Maddie was our
You're
Now
talking
he
puker.
about-
blames it on me.
Yeah, well,
Ain't bad.
No, this is totally you. Because Maddie was a puker. You know, she would wake up because she's just a total garbage gut. Still is a garbage gut. I mean, to the point where we're like, we take pictures because we're like, whoa, that is crazy.
And there's a boat, a tin can.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Is
That's
that a
pretty much Maddie. She's
salamander in there?
getting
What is that?
But I'll never forget one time in the middle of the night, she started doing that, you know, that sound, that, and you're like, I'm
You jump
up
up.
and I'm
Yeah.
moving.
The moms
And
jump
she
up.
was on Lee's side, and I'm like, grab her. And he's like, what? What? I'm like, grab her. Too
Yeah,
late.
she's in the same bed.
Yeah, on the other side of the bed. But he was
She
too
could have
late.
got up and done it.
Yeah, he was too late because she puked all over his side of the bed, all the way down the
Yeah.
nightstand, the side of the
Yeah,
bed,
it was
everything. Yeah, because you know, as soon as they start throwing up too, they don't move. They're like, I'm just gonna stand
See,
here.
that's what I think. I think we should get that, put that sound on an alarm. Nobody would
That would-
ever
yeah,
hit snooze.
nobody would ever hit
Just
snooze.
put it on your alarm.
Because it's like instant awake.
Everybody would be up. There'd be no snooze ever hit again.
But I will say now, he does not move slow when he hears that sound. He is like up and rolling now. Grab him.
Yeah.
House breaking is the hardest.
I was just gonna say crate training. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
no, just due to the fact that if you're gonna do it right, you gotta be on it. You
Yeah.
gotta be,
You said crate training.
yeah, crazy,
Well-
Great.
yeah, but you gotta be letting them out.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta wake them up early on to let them out. And I mean, it's just a process. We're kind of going through that right now where you're the morning person, you get up super early.
I struggle with that.
And
at
then
the
I
beginning.
stay up late.
Yeah.
Just to let the puppy out the last, so, but the nice part is it doesn't last for 5 years. I mean, it's
Yeah.
normally 2-3 months.
No, but I struggled with the whole putting the baby in the crate to begin with. I struggled on that. Did you guys do the whole, can put in the crate, 4 hours, let her out?
We hit on all of them, didn't we? I
A
think.
little bit to begin
When they were
with.
up-
Or
we
did
always
she
had
start
it.
sleeping with you right away?
No.
No, we didn't
never when they were
actually.
puppies.
Well, that would've
we
been
read
pink.
Tom's book.
Yeah, right.
No, they actually didn't start sleeping with us right away.
Yeah, the
They
only
really
thing that
did.
we did is one, I think we had a big cardboard box that I'd have next to the bed with like towels in there, so you hear them
You
if
hear
they're
them
out,
if
kind of
they're
muffing
out,
around
yeah.
and grab her and bring
Yeah.
her outside, no matter what time it was.
Yeah.
But I never had her in the bed because you know they pee at that time. But I think it's more potty training at that age. It's not, the dog's not going to tell you anything. You just have to see, okay, when she's standing up, get him outside.
Yeah,
and they pee.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
more you having to pay so much attention to him, get him outside. Then it's not that long before they realize, oh, I got to pee outside. But if you're just letting them go and oh, they peed on the floor. Well, yeah, because you did the last 5 times, you haven't picked them up when they just got up. Because they
Yeah.
nap a lot, you see
Yeah.
running. As soon as they see them muffing around a little bit, they were up, they're outside. And like I think a lot of our dogs, we never had any problems with them.
No, they were pretty.
When did they
Yeah,
start
we do
sleeping
that.
in the bed with you? All of them.
Oh gosh, it's a disaster right now. It's gonna be a bigger disaster because Sky's coming home, so we have Maddie, the kids. Of course, we are building,
Yeah, building a house, so
building a house, so who
there'll be
knows?
more room for dogs and kids. And
I don't know.
Yeah, are you,
Maybe
are you
a bed
getting
and
a side bed off your main
I
bed
kind
for
of
the
feel like
dogs?
we should have
or
like a giant bed. Maybe we should manufacture it. But when did they start sleeping in bed?
the
with
triple
us?
king?
well, they
Yeah.
were potty trained for sure.
Yeah,
at that
I mean,
time.
I bet
But I don't know, maybe
probably,
after the puppy training, you guys
Yeah.
at least.
probably so.
Other than that, we
Yeah.
always had them like in a crate or in that box next to us.
What's the best part about owning a dog?
They just bring so much joy to you. You just watch them, and they're never crabby. They're always ready to go. They're just so happy, and I
If
don't
you
know,
don't
just
have a
their
dog, you have to have
disposition.
one.
It's just
Some
you know
point in
so
life.
sweet. Yeah.
But if you have
Right.
one, make sure you have like Tom or somebody train it like that.
'Cause
Because
they
we've
can
seen so
actually
many
help
times, you
train
see people
it.
like, oh, that's an ill-behaved dog. You really gotta bring that to Tom.
Dog is terrible.
I remember
Because
when Linda had, just like most people, Linda had dogs her
That's my
entire
mom.
life. Yeah, Tiffany's mom. And then when we got Kaya for her and you trained her after the first puppy train, she's like, oh my gosh. Just opening the door and letting the dog out and not having to chase him and run and taking him in the car and driving around trying to find your dog. Just to say, Kaya, heel, boom, right on your heel. She's like, why didn't they do this 20 years ago?
people just
I
don't
gotta
know.
tell you, Linda, when we went through everything with her, she was like, this is how it's gonna be. I mean, she stuck with, like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna sit at the door, we're gonna do that. So she really followed through, which was really,
Right.
which
She
was really
followed
kinda fun.
through until the day she died. Honestly,
Yeah, it
God,
was
she
like-
ran a pretty tight ship.
Yeah, no.
And what Tom means by that at the door, it's like you don't open the door and let the dog blast out. So you start opening the door an inch and they blast the door open and say, no, you sit. You open the door, they sit, and you until you say their name. You say take, Maddie. Like Linda would have all the dogs lined up there,
Yeah.
all four of them. She, whoever like Maddie was always the bull, so she would go to the front. Okay, I'm be the first. So she'd always call her name the last. So she'd go, okay, whoever's in the back, the Kaya. And Kaya would go out, take, thank you, Sky, go out, and then Maddie.
You think they'd catch on
couldn't
to
go
it?
out
If
the
I
door.
sit in the back,
They
I get to go
don't.
first.
Yeah,
They never
so
catch
they
on.
never could go through the door because Linda was 80 pounds soaking wet. But
Yeah.
for her, those dogs, like take an 80-pound dog, they blow her right over. So you had to be in control. Especially
Yeah,
with four
she was
dogs.
a
She
force.
ran a tight ship with those dogs.
Yeah.
And I say you just keep doing that, and they'll be very well behaved. But like I said, even and not to, just training of some sort. Somebody you'll see you have you can have a dog for 10 to 13 years. Just do it right away. It's hard. People at 5 months is when they all of a sudden start bouncing off the walls and unruly and everything else. You just like so many people. I don't want to keep her up. I just don't want to have her gone for 3 weeks. And it's like I'll tell you, you won't even remember that 3 weeks. And that's 13 years. Do it, but you'll
Yeah.
remember when you say heel, boom, they're there. Remember when you say place, they're there. That you have a well-trained dog. You're not chasing them around. Remember when George had his dog first time?
yeah.
He didn't have the
When
leash.
he
He goes,
had
oh, you're gonna play catch with this
Sadie.
dog. And I'm out there looking, and his dog Sadie had the ball, and he's running around trying to catch her. And I was like, George, what is wrong here? Isn't it supposed to be the other way around? Isn't your dog supposed to be
She
coming
was
by you?
so bad.
So then,
And
then
then
he
she
finally
would
brought her
play,
to top,
yeah.
and now he's got a well-trained dog. But
Yeah.
like I said, all it takes is those 3 weeks. You might think, oh, I don't want to be gone for 3 weeks, but trust me, for the
However
next
long it is.
13 years, you'll be very happy you did.
Well, if they all listened well, we'd be out of business.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Yeah,
It's a
but
job
none of them
security.
listen well without
At
some
that
kind of
age,
training.
no, they really don't.
5 months is when they're bouncing off the walls.
It's so funny though
Yeah.
because you say that about your puppies. It's like everybody's like, oh, I don't want them to go at like 5 months. I'm like, all right,
Yep,
here's your
time to go.
suitcase. Because they are naughty. I mean, they are like big,
That
oafish,
totally
naughty
changed.
ones.
Because most of the dogs, when I first started training, 45, 50 years ago, they lived out in the backyard.
Mhm.
So mom really had nothing to do with them. And now that all of these dogs, these honey dogs have moved into the house, now like you said, by the time they're 5 months old, mom's saying, this
Out.
dog is gonna go and get some training. So
Right.
it's
Manners.
really actually changed for the better,
Yeah, for sure.
business wise, because guys were always saying, do not tell my wife how much this costs. But now it's like, mom's saying, we're gonna do
Mom's
I
that.
don't care what
dropping
it
them
costs.
off.
So it's
Yeah.
actually
And
better.
we're having a well-trained dog.
Yeah.
And it's, if you're fighting them constantly, it's because you're around them all the time. It's just no fun. I mean, fighting them meaning, won't come on call, I can't let them out of the house, I can't do that. You always talked about, because you were teaching, and mom would pull up with the kids, the dogs would be sitting in the front
The
seat,
front
and the
seat.
2 kids would be in the back seat.
Yeah, right.
I mean, so they become part of everything
Oh, yeah.
that you do,
Right.
which is fun.
The other favorite command Linda had, she loved the place command, she loved the hurry command.
Oh, yeah.
For getting the
hurry.
dog to
To go
poop
potty,
on
yeah.
command.
All right.
And that's one of the videos I have in there, but that was something that an aha moment for me when Tom taught me that, when they're babies and they're peeing or they're pooping, while they're peeing, give them a command. He uses outside, 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 so say it while they're doing it, then later on they learn it. But Linda loved that hurry command
Yeah.
to poop, cause she's like, hurry, hurry, hurry,
Yeah,
because
like
you
it's
guys
cold
travel
outside,
so
and
much.
especially
Yeah.
girls,
Yeah.
Right,
I'm
right.
gonna
I
smell
don't
for
think
2.5 hours before I decide where to go. You're all right, Maddie, hurry now, all right? And Pete, so they got that one.
Yeah. What questions do you guys have for me or Tom? Or Tom, do you have any questions for them?
Not that we haven't talked before.
Yeah.
I was like, so when should we get our
We've been
next
best
dog?
friends for 10 years. So
Well, I've been trying to
When
get
should we
you
get our
guys.
next dog?
Cause Sky's mom and dad. had
Actually,
a
Tina's
baby
like,
and I was trying
there's
to
a
get
male. I'm
my
like,
mail
no,
left
absolutely
over.
not. No, absolutely not, because this next one, I really would like to enjoy the process, and if we got a puppy right now, it would just be absolute chaos. And I wouldn't even-
You talk,
No.
not toddlers, but you've got young kids, and then a puppy,
No way.
it's,
Yeah.
it's a
Yes.
disaster.
But
A lot
the
of
thing
people
is, like
say,
you saw Maddie today, how good she still was at 10. Like if she was slowing down a lot, I would think, okay, maybe sooner than later. But for me, I think as soon as Maddie starts, you know, you gotta like Tank when he was, how old was he? Like 11?
11.
Yeah, I mean when he
11.
couldn't just pop into the truck anymore, you put his front feet on there. Okay, he's
Well, I
slowing down
love
some. You have
boosting
to boost
stuff.
him up
kind of
there.
indicator.
Yeah, kind of an indicator that okay, we could probably get another one.
I say
Now,
another
but
couple
Maddie
years
is
will
nowhere
be
near
Now
that.
Sky, now Sky is kind of,
Right.
you know, gonna fill
She's
that,
4,
For
yeah.
sure.
that kind
Yeah.
of deal, so,
Yeah, and
yeah,
she's gonna go right in.
right.
But,
Yeah.
So anyway, well, I wanted to thank you guys for coming on my YouTube channel. It all started because Tom would not do any DVDs with me, but he's become a
Now
part of
I'm
it
enjoying
now.
This is
He's
a lot
in it.
easier, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no
Make
kidding.
DVDs and cuts and everything else.
No, yeah, it's
Just
just
be
talk
yourselves.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a fun project because I've gotten you involved, even though you didn't want to be involved. Well, you didn't want to be involved with your other stuff, but now you're really involved because
I'm sure you've gotten so much closer.
you should have seen him how excited he was this morning about doing this
Yeah.
You're
taping.
7.
Yeah.
Okay,
Minus-
let's
Get
quick
closer
do this
together
with
and then
your
a
puppy
YouTube
before we
channel.
go on.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta set up the camera, I gotta do this, we gotta go.
Well, you know, it's been
Yeah,
fun
it
because
is.
Yeah.
it's been fun to document. But actually, Tom created. When are you going to introduce that? Your new products to everybody. He created new products because of Gabby.
Oh.
So this whole project had made him think about, okay, you know, that's not working very
Straight
well.
jacket
I
for
need
dogs.
I need to keep this, I need to keep it a secret.
You know, so he's using these new products, and then he's starting things a lot earlier in the training sessions. So we're doing a lot of things earlier, like getting her up on the force fetching table at like 4 months of age, 3.5, but just getting them used to it at a way early age. But I love the new products he was testing on Gabby. So yeah.
Spring of
Perfected in about
spring of
another year and a half.
2022. Our dogs are always the guinea pigs when we
Yes.
come up with stuff. Spring of
They
22,
are.
it'll be out.
Yeah, so the name of my YouTube channel is Tina Dokken Unleashed because Tom's the leashed version. I'm the unleashed version. And you can just Google, put it on YouTube, just enter Tina Dokken, you'll find it right away. But thank you guys so much for participating.
Thanks for having us
Yeah,
here.
thanks
It was
for having
awesome.
us.
Last 3 days of
Great
pheasant
pheasant
hunting too.
hunting
It was awesome.
and
Very fun.
a really good reason to get a dog and have it trained to pheasant hunt like we did today for 3 days in a row. So thank you very much.
Mhm.
And thank you, honey, for participating in all my videos.
Always happy to.
Yeah, nothing brings a couple together like a YouTube channel.
I like filming stuff.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I'm sure Tiffany hears the stories on that.
Honey, you're walking off the set. What are you doing?
I thought we were
we were
done.
already cut.